Cool. Mic check, mic check. Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Triple U podcast. Unfiltered, uncensored, unhinged. I still cannot say it. It is a mouthful. This week we are back after a bit of a break. So if it is extra unhinged, we do apologise. And thank you so much for tuning in once more with us. We love hearing from you. We love seeing the support building on our socials. And we are hoping to be here for a much longer time to come. So chill out, rest, relax, take the weight off, and let's get into this.
And we're ready for action.
Okay.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I could make the screen bigger. It's just obviously my eyesight now that I know I'm blind.
Right. Did you go in for a test or you're going for one?
I was in one. It happened a couple of days ago, and I've still got my old prescription glasses and contact lenses right now. And yeah, they're like, "Oh, you blind?" She was like, "Do you use your glasses all the time when you're driving?" I was like, "Yes." She's like, "Okay, you really need to make sure you're doing that." So yeah, I now know why I have to this looks too far away, and I have to go like this to see it properly. Like this makes more sense now. You know, my prescription has gone up a little bit, but it's all fine. It's all fine.
Good in the hood.
It's all good in the hood. Apparently, it's part of getting older, I'm told.
I will have perfect vision my entire life.
You're lucky. I always wanted. You know, this is the thing. Everybody in my family had glasses. I wanted glasses. I tried to fake an eye test when I was younger. I lied, made up that I couldn't. You know how the grid and the letters across it?
Yeah.
I tried to fluke that on purpose so that I could get glasses, because like everybody in my family wore glasses except me, and I was like, I want glasses. But you know, careful what you wish for, because 20 years later, you will in fact start going blind.
You manifested that shit for yourself.
I did. Not the best thing to be manifesting, but whatever.
The universe was like, herd chef.
Took 20 years, but it eventually came in.
Hey, it doesn't always happen in the time frame that we want, but
this is exactly true. Exactly true. So, what's the crack? I feel like I haven't seen you in forever.
It's been a hot minute.
It has been a hot minute.
What's the crack? Well,
wait a minute, hang on. Hot minute, by the way. Is this a Canadian thing?
I think it might be a Canadian / Northern American thing.
Yeah, somebody who's also Canadian said it yesterday, and I was like, oh, like, you are the only person that I know that says it, but I just thought, I was like, I've never heard anybody other than you say it, and I was like, oh, that's another Canadian that said it. I was like, is this a specifically Canadian saying? I didn't know. Oh, look at her get Google. Immediately into Google.
I'm curious, you know, if it is solely a Canadian slang or if it's of the Northern Americas. Hot minute. Canadian slang?
Come on.
Question mark?
Why? Come on, why are you down there? Come on. Sorry, I'm talking to Bella. She's just looking at me. She's like, can I come up? I'm like, yeah, of course you can. Come on, BB.
So it's giving me what the description of it is, which, you know, we know.
A minute that's hot, absolutely.
So a hot minute is slang phrase that means a long time. So, for example, she hasn't talked about her dog in a hot minute.
That's a rarity with us. Bella is peak conversation fodder for us. Yeah. There she is. What was that all about, you weirdo? What was that all about?
Well, I don't know if it's Canadian or not, but...
Well, I'm making it Canadian.
The people at home can confirm whether or not.
Confirm or deny. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been good. Had a friend over visiting. We did a bunch of Toronto-y things, and I got to be a tourist in my own city, which was a lot of fun.
So much fun. I love being a tourist. And this is it. We take it for granted, the touristy things, don't we? That we live in touristy places, and then you do them, and you're like, holy shit, I can't believe this has been here this entire time.
There's so many activities. So many
Yeah,
things to do.
absolutely. And
Huh.
you went to a big building, a tall building? This is a thing? Tell me
Yeah,
about
so
this.
the CN Tower is the tallest building in Canada, I believe. It used to be the tallest building in the world, but that
Mm-hmm.
is not the case anymore. It still is one of the tallest structures, but yeah, it's one of our focal points of the city. And if you see like Toronto branding or anything like that, it'll show the city skyline, which is like the CN Tower, and then the Rogers Center, which used to be called the Sky Dome, and I wish it was still because it's a great name because it opens
Mm-hmm.
up and you can see the sky. Very straightforward, and it's a dome. Um, Simple to the point. But a company, Rogers, bought them out, so they're now called the Rogers Center, which
Gross.
it's one of our leading telephone and internet
Ah,
companies.
yeah, I know. I know. I've seen screenshots with Roger in the corner, and I was like, "Why is that written there?"
Who's Roger?
Yeah, who the fuck is Roger, and why is he on everybody's phones? No, it's
Yep.
similar vibes here. Everything's called the O2 or the BT or the, you know, telecommunication companies got it down, right? They like the
Mm-hmm.
big buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck them. This is a problem. Why do they own everything? Let's get into it. Have you seen the guy on TikTok that does videos about the aisles in shopping markets, shopping.
Grocery
What are they?
stores?
Thank you. Supermarkets, and it's like every single like packet of crisps in the crisp aisle. It's all owned by like one or two brands.
Mm-hmm.
And the hair, the shampoo aisle, all again owned by like one brand, and obviously they just have different names and things, but they're all owned by the one big parent company. And it's
Yeah.
like how difficult it is to boycott or avoid certain things that are prevalent in various industries and stuff like that. It's because it is quite literally all owned by one or two companies, and it's just wild.
Yeah.
And it's the same
No.
with our infrastructure and our businesses and our utilities and the food we eat and the products we buy. It's all just owned by the same people.
Mm-hmm. Got their sticky little fingers and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's quite a depressing way to start.
Yeah.
You can't win. Don't bother fighting, lads. Just give up.
Oh gosh. I mean, like we hear about all these boycotts on like TikTok and stuff and I get it and I support and um understand it, but at the same time it's like a bit of pick your battles too cuz there's only so much you can boycott without boycotting everything.
Yeah. Without
Cuz like
going off grid. Yeah. Yeah, it's really
essentially.
difficult. You have to take the hit, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cuz I'm sure somewhere along the line this studio that we use is owned by something,
Ah,
someone,
exactly. It will be as well.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything we own, everything we've bought, everything we're using right now will be owned by somebody that we don't like.
Mm.
Well,
So it's November. Merry Christmas.
I have a Christmas jumper. Well, Christmas Eve jumper on. It's actually one of my faves. I haven't worn it in forever because I kept
I
staining it. And I'm
I was
back to
gonna
front, so
say.
you can't really read him, can you? But it says, "A very Merry Christmas to you."
Oh.
And he's got a few coffee stains on him, and he's looking a bit rugged because I wore him so much. But I think from a distance, I think he looks all right.
Yeah, I
Um,
can't see any stains.
because he was at one point one of my go-to jumpers because it was so comfy.
Hmm.
So yeah, I thought I would festive it up a little bit, festive it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say when we came on, you were looking quite festive, especially with the red
Thanks.
lip
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
your PJ pants. Kind of from a distance, look like they could be festive-y. Like,
No, stop. They're not
what?
PG pants. They're outdoor pants.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Um, they're outdoor clothing.
They're
I
outside
got
clothes.
I got dressed for this.
Well, I mean, I am dressed up top, and I am
Abs-
not on the bottom.
well,
Well, I'm not naked, but
I
for the
mean,
people listening.
I'm barely. dressed. Do you know what I mean? I don't really like being dressed, as we know at this stage of the game. It's not a fan. I'm not a fan of wearing clothes. So
You're barely
I'm
dressed.
I'm covered. There you go. You know? I
Barely.
know. I got it. I got it.
Notice my joke.
Worked on so many levels. There were so many levels to that joke. But yes, festive season has approached, and we love this time of year, do we not?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Um,
baby.
but I particularly am already. So the clocks have not changed with you yet, right?
No,
You've
they
got another
just
week.
did. They
Oh,
just
they
did.
just did. They just did it the weekend there.
Yeah.
So we're now, but we're back to 5 hours apart again.
Mm-hmm.
Sad times. Sad times. We were a little bit closer for a good 2 weeks there. So I'm struggling though with the darkness. It's encroaching on my life, on my heart, on my soul, on my every waking moment. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, it's
What time does it get dark there currently?
currently it starts to get kind of dark around like 4:30ish, and then
Yeah,
it gets
so we're
like dark by 5.
cool. So we're about the same. We're about the
Yeah.
same. Yeah. Well, it's probably a little bit earlier here, but whatever. Yeah, I try to trick my brain every single year and be like, literally a couple of months ago, it was daylight at this time of day, and you were out and about and having the time of your life, and you left the house at 7 p.m. and it was still day. Blah blah blah. Like it's not real. It's not real, and I try to trick myself into not allowing it to have an effect on me every single
Mm-hmm.
year. But the fact of the matter is, I've already had a nap today,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm very much in hibernation mode
Mm-hmm.
and want to go to bed like as soon as I get in the house. I want to snuggle up. I want to get the lights all cozy, watch the TV, read a book. Like, I don't want to be going out and about. Um, and it's just starting to get to that time of year where I just want to slow down and chill out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's trying to find the balance between that's quite natural and normal because
Yeah.
as humans we are evolved to have adapted to the way the seasons go. We do all of our work when it's longer days and all the rest of it, and then we start to chill out in the winter and take it easy when things are a lot harder and all the rest of it. But we also don't live in that kind of society necessarily anymore where we can reduce our work hours, for example,
Mm-hmm.
or reduce our commitments to friends and family and things like that in the winter months. And
Yeah.
therefore, we are expected to just go, 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 go the same way we did in summer when we had all of that extra energy. And
Mm-hmm.
we have to do that in the winter. And I struggle a little bit to not beat myself up and get a little bit upset about the whole concept of why the fuck am I so tired? Like, what is wrong with me?
Mm-hmm.
And what is wrong with me is it's winter and my body wants to chill out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was interesting that in the time that my friend was here, her and I were like doing stuff all day, every day for a week straight. And like this was before our clocks had changed. And we just had like all this energy. And sure, we took time, like we took breaks, we took whatever we needed to be able to do whatever we needed to do the next day. But there was this momentum and this easiness to just do and keep doing and enjoy and be present and all these different things. And then when the clocks changed, we were initially excited because we're like, ooh, yeah, extra hour to sleep,
Yeah.
like that sort of excitement when it starts. But then yesterday or the day before, I was just so tired. And as soon as, like you said, as soon as it was like 4:30, 5 o'clock, I was like, bedtime? Like, is it bed? I looked at the time at one point, and it was like 6:30. I thought it was
Yeah.
gonna be like 9 o'clock at least. And I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I just feel so much more tired as well. I like looking at the clock thinking, oh, it must be bedtime because I'm so exhausted. But apparently like having naps and stuff is good for you. Like,
Yeah.
napping is good. I've seen a couple of different things. There seems to be differing opinions as to whether you should sleep during the day or not. I like to go with sleep during the day. and get extra sleep and have a nap and just do what your body wants kind of vibes rather than forcing yourself through stuff.
Yeah, well, there's that time frame for women specifically. That I think it's from like 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. that
Yeah.
it's like, power down. Because as far as like hormonal cycles go as well, men are on the 24-hour clock. So their hormones start at the beginning of the day and then they cycle through all their things that they need to cycle through and then they're done by the end of the day and it starts over again. Whereas for us, it's, on a 28 to 30-day cycle. And so what they experience in a day is what we experience over the span of a month. And so we're bound to have times where we're like, I need to sleep. And I saw this study, aka probably a TikTok, that said women require more sleep
Yeah.
than men because of all the inner goings on, specifically, people with uteruses, because all those hormones go on and everything happens in that way. Yeah. I mean, I'm no doctor. I'm no microbiologist.
You're not?
Well, all those years of study
Mhm.
were just too much for me, so I backed out.
I just can't be fucked basically with anybody at this time of year. That's
Yeah.
that's the crux of the matter. Is I go into my I don't really want to
Yeah.
mode.
Can't make me.
Like I really don't want to.
So how was it coming and doing this today? Because for
Yeah,
you, it's like 4:30. It's that time. It's already getting dark for you, isn't it?
yeah, it's already dark. I really don't want to.
Uh-huh. I don't want to be here.
I had a shoot first thing this morning. Came home and I was feeling tired, and I was like, I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna have my lunch, another cup of coffee, and then I was like, I'm gonna get a bunch of stuff done before we record. But that did not happen. I went for a nap. I was so tired, and I had the living room and the cat. It was just perfect, snuggly, warm temperature. But like, it's a nice day outside. It is weirdly mild here, so it was like sun kind of shining in. But I'm lying on the couch, all cozy. Got the little fire on, which is my new obsession. And I was just so snuggly and cozy, and my body feels like knackered. It's not even necessarily that I'm physically feel exhausted or anything. Just my body just wants to slow the fuck down. So yeah, I was like, I don't want to. Don't want to. I want to lie here. I was like, can I figure out how to set up this setup through in the living room so I could just lie on the couch and be like, hi guys, just coming to you from the couch today. Yeah, and the thought of doing work now after this is crazy to me. Like, it's bedtime. Whereas in the summer I would sit and work until 10 o'clock at night and it wouldn't even
Phase you.
Yeah, it wouldn't even phase me at all. It's so weird. It just makes no sense, but then that's also me just trying to fight it and do this like 24-hour cycle, or not 24-hour cycle, but like 12 monthly cycle that just never ever changes, and forget that we're human beings and we live on a planet that, well, us particularly the northern hemispheres are affected a little bit more by. It may be different if I lived somewhere closer to the equator, and perhaps
Maybe you need to just
swing.
move to Iceland.
Would that not be worse?
Would it be? I thought they experienced. Well, maybe they have like long stretches where it's like purely daylight, and then there's a long stretch where it's just night.
Yeah, wouldn't it be better to go somewhere where on the equator where there's no difference, pretty much all throughout the year? It is split right down the middle, 12 hours daylight, 12 hours night.
Right. See, well, I'm not the one to ask.
I actually don't. I don't know that that's probably also not true, because the Earth doesn't just spin like that. It also does that. So I don't know, but I have a funny feeling. But then this is why I quite like Scotland, and I say this every year. I'm like, this is the last time I will. This is the last winter I do. I can't survive another one, because I get like pure like I'm suicidal by the time like February rolls around because I haven't seen the sunlight for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
But then the summers in Scotland are immense. It's not proper dark, and it's barely getting. The sun goes down at 10, 11 o'clock at night. It's fantastic. There's only a few hours of darkness in the summer, and I'm like, oh, I wouldn't give this shit up for anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild how much the difference is as well, because I always remember watching Wimbledon, which is obviously in London, and they're on centre court or whatever, and they're packing up for the night at 9 o'clock because it's getting dark, and I'm still sitting in broad daylight, and I'm only 6-7 hours drive up the road, and
Yeah.
I've still got another couple of hours of daylight ahead of me, and that's how much of a difference there is, though, and that's what I love about living in Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the flip side, the long dark winters make me fucking,
Sad times.
yeah.
Time, yeah. So I've Googled, and it is. So if you're closer to the equator, it says, although the daytime length at the equator remains 12 hours in all seasons, the duration at all other latitudes varies with the seasons. Okay, so during the winter, daytime lasts shorter than 12 and longer than 12 during the summer. So yeah.
So I need to move onto the equator.
Yeah, right on it. Right smack dab on the equator.
What are my choices? Can you Google what countries are on the equator? And we'll pick
Let's do
one.
it. What countries? Countries.
Because I have a valid passport now, so I mean, sky's
Yeah,
quite
you
literally the limit.
do.
Yeah.
Are on the equator.
Equator.
Equator. So we have the equator passes through 13 countries.
Perfect. 13 choices. Let's go. What have we got?
We've got Ecuador, Colombia,
Ooh!
Brazil.
Yes, Colombia. Sold.
Done.
Done.
Sold to the highest bidder.
I would love to do Latin America.
Ooh, yeah.
So Colombia.
Colombia.
Because I'm totally obsessed with like reggaeton and salsa and Latin men and Latin women, to be fair. But yeah, fuck his souls. I'm moved to Colombia.
She's in. She's in.
What were the other options, actually? There could be a better
And then
one.
I could come visit you. So we have, and I don't want to butcher this, Sao Tome and Principe, Gabon,
Gabon,
Republic of the Congo,
RDC, beautiful.
Democratic Republic of the Congo, Uganda, Kenya, Somalia, the Maldives, Indonesia.
Yes. Should we move to the Maldives?
Yeah.
Indonesia as well would be good.
And the last one is Kiribati. Kiribati? Yeah.
That sounds islandy. Which
It
sounds
does.
amazing, but also I wouldn't want to ruin it for them. Do you know what I mean? We need to stay out of those little places.
Yeah,
You got to know where you're wanted. I'm looking at you,
Yeah.
Hawaii people.
Yeah, man, it would be a gorgeous place to visit, but they've asked people not to go, so I'm going to respect their wishes.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I was actually looking at holidays in that general vicinity.
Yeah.
Not Hawaii. Like the Maldives area. I was like, I want to go. That sounds fun for like, just to be fancy.
So is it the Maldives? I've heard people say Maldives before. Or maybe I'm making that up.
We say Maldives here. You could say Maldives. I mean, Maldives sounds awful.
I know it does. Let me
Maldives? It's like it's a dive. It's not a dive.
Ooh, that's beautiful water.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put pronunciation.
I don't even know what the native language is.
Oh, no, yeah, it's Maldives.
Maldives. Perfect. Because obviously I know every language, so I would know. If you just told me the native language, I would be like, well, the pronunciation is this,
Mm-hmm. Originated from.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's actually, a Germanic language in root. I do actually love languages, but I'm not that smart, unfortunately. I can't apply myself, so there you go.
It's not a matter of intelligence.
To look a lot like Christmas. What's not a matter of intelligence? Sorry.
I said you not knowing all the languages and everything about languages isn't a matter of intelligence.
It's a matter of lack of application.
You are very smart.
Thank you, darling. I went to the school of life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, girl.
Yeah. I like your hair. What's going on with that?
You like my hair?
Yeah. Tell me about it.
I've got it up in a ponytail with a scrunchie.
Looks so cute. My hair does not look like that when I put it up. I think you have a lot of hair though, right? And it's really thick and it's curly and it just does things.
It's a love-hate relationship, though, I gotta tell you.
Every girl with curly hair has a love-hate relationship with her hair. And I think it's because of straight hair propaganda, let's call it.
Straight slash the blowout.
Ah, yes. Big puffy hair.
And like the swoopy ends, which is beautiful, but hard to maintain.
Yep. My hair, I gave it a battle with her a long time ago. She cannot be tamed.
She can't be tamed.
She cannot. No product, no heat, no styling will stay in this hair for longer than an hour. There's no point in doing it. Only realized, a couple of years ago that I have 2B hair, which is like a loose wave. And I tried to start like looking after her, like I have wavy hair, thinking she'll pull herself together. This is why I've struggled with my hair for my entire life. This is why I couldn't get her to do anything. It's because she's wavy and I didn't know this. So I started trying to, look after her properly and all the rest of it. But even that, useless. Like, requires a level of product that my hair does not like. The second I put product in my hair, she looks like shit and it doesn't do anything anyway. So there's no point in it.
Yeah, see, well, with my hair, it's like it has curl to it. I have no idea what like number or texture my hair is. I probably could figure it out. But when I wash it and let it dry naturally, it's got a good curl like under, and then on top it's just kind of like a frizzy wavy.
Irish hair.
Ooh.
That's what
Well,
that is. Irish curls. This is a new one I've seen on TikTok, is if your hair is good underneath but bad on the top. Also, as well, I think it's because we damage the top of our hair more than we damage the under bits of our hair as well, which means that the curl pattern is probably cool underneath, but has taken a fair amount.
And then it's like weighed down by the stuff on top too, so it's like hard to come through.
Yeah.
And I'd seen all those videos on, TikTok with the curly girl technique or whatever, where you do the upside down scrunchy, and I'm like, see, I probably could have nice curls that, are defined and cute looking. But I am too lazy.
Yeah, you just don't care enough. It is a lot of effort. Like I did proper try it for a while. I got the curly hair, the gel and the shampoo and the conditioner. I still use the shampoo and conditioner designed for curly hair. Yeah. And I do see generally a difference in, its health and vitality as a result of that. But when it comes to, so the thing with curly hair is you gotta like scrunch it and then it's soaking fucking wet and you can't touch it. And it takes approximately 3 hours to dry. And I don't have 3 hours. And it would be fine if my hair had a strong enough curl pattern that 3 hours of drying would keep my hair good for 4 or 5 days.
Like it was worth it.
Amazing. Yeah. Looks like shit the next day though, so it's so not worth it.
Yeah.
So I pretty much just let it do it at once. And the longer it gets, the more straight it gets because it's so heavy and it just weighs itself down. So yeah, but I love her.
It looks very soft, and
it is actually very soft. I used one of the masks that I got with the hair dye yesterday, and we all know that the hair dye conditioners and masks and shampoos and all that are spectacular. So yeah, she does feel particularly grand this afternoon, this evening, today, whatever.
Where am I? What time is it?
What's going on?
Do we want to take a minute and just like
yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, do a little breathe in, breathe out moment. Shake it out. Breathing in.
Do I seem unhinged to you?
you seem what? Sorry.
Do I seem unhinged to you?
I wouldn't say unhinged. I'm down for whatever. I mean, we can keep talking just to have.
I'm down for whatever. An apple orchard.
An apple orchard.
You're so good at it. So good at it. An apple orchard. I can't do any accents.
An apple orchard.
I'm down for whatever.
I'm down
for whatever.
Yeah, we could go to the pick. Like, I forget the beginning part. Oh, we could kill somebody.
Yeah.
Or the apple orchard.
You're so good at accents. I love it.
I went to an apple orchard not that long ago.
I know. That's so cute.
It was fun.
You did pumpkins too, right?
We did pumpkins too, yes.
And you have actual pumpkin patches there where we don't have... People just put pumpkins in a field here. You got to actually pick them off the pumpkin plant, right?
No. That is a thing that you can do, but that wasn't where we went. They had already picked them, so we were just picking through. But it was on the farm that they were grown, but I guess it was a little haphazard for people to be walking through the field to pick their own pumpkin. So they collected them all and put them in one place, and then you can pick and choose whatever you please.
And then did you carve your pumpkin?
No, because I only got little itty bitties. I have them over there. I can grab them. Well, it doesn't matter. They're tiny little pumpkins.
I've had a tiny little... They last forever.
Yeah. Although one of them isn't doing too hot. I got 3. Because it was like 3 for a certain price. And 2 of them doing great. Shine bright like a diamond. One of them is like, you know that bit on TikTok, again, is like, well, I don't give a shit because I'm about half dead anyways. You know that one?
I thought you were going to go, oh, look, it's a strawberry. Oh, look, it's a strawberry. And then you came out with that, and I was just so unprepared for it. I was like... It was very jarring to not know what was going to come out of your mouth next. I always know what you're going to say.
Keep you on your toes, baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but you know that like, I don't give a shit. I'm about half dead anyways.
Yeah.
Because it started to like go in on itself and has like a little wrinkle in it.
He's like he has no teeth.
Yeah, exactly. I don't give a shit.
Like that.
Exactly.
Except maybe not so high pitched.
But yeah, we were at this apple orchard, and you get a trailer to bring you out into the fields and go down the different, I was gonna say aisles. I guess it is like
absolutely. Yeah,
apple aisles. But there's different kinds of apples, so you can get off depending on which ones you want to get, which ones you want to try. And so we were with a really big group, and we all got off at this one spot, and we all picked our apples, and they were all tasty and delicious. And we were with some little kids as well. And so we're wanting to get back on the trailer to keep moving down the one way. The thing is, though, the trailer doesn't come by that frequently. And if it does, it already has people from the original starting point who are just being taken to another spot. And so they got to this one certain point. We had already walked for a little bit. And I was like, guys, we just have to convince them to get off the trailer. Like,
these are the best apples you have got to try these.
Pretty much. So they pull up, and I just like walk straight up to the trailer, and I'm like, you guys, you gotta check out these apples. They're unreal. Like, and I'm like, please.
We need seats. Get off.
We have children. Women and children first.
Obviously, a very nice, wholesome family activity turns into complete chaos.
Well, you wouldn't have it any other way.
I know, right? It's part of the fun.
Yep.
I've never done anything cool like that, actually. Like, wholesome pumpkin picking, apple orchard. Nothing. I do love a farm, though. I mean, any farm, I'm there. But I'm all about the animals, you see. Like, there's a petting zoo, or...
Oh, they had a little animal
did they?
as well. Yeah.
I love a petting zoo. I love a zoo.
My nephew went in, got one whiff of manure, and was like, I'm out. He's very much a city boy. Bless his heart.
I went to a bird place that also had a dinosaur exhibit, which
That
was
makes sense.
one of the most wild experiences. Was wandering through the forest and just finding like a 6-foot T-Rex, like a plastic T-Rex. I was like, this is so weird. Like, I get it, but weird. So yeah, that I love a animal. I was going to say exhibit, but that's not the thing. An animal farm more than a produce farm.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'd quite like to go to one of those flower places. You know, it's like tulip fields or not strawberry field.
A botanical garden.
Oh, botanical gardens are really, really cool, but like the flower farms.
Is there such a thing?
Yes, we've got them here. You don't have flower farms?
Google.
I feel like they're a newish thing.
Flower farm.
But there's quite a few cropped up around me that you can go and get your tulips or your sunflowers, for example, and like frolic through the fields and take your cute little Instagram pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They are a thing.
Well,
Alright.
I can't believe you doubted me, if I'm honest.
Well, I didn't doubt you. I just didn't know that they were a thing here. New activity.
Absolutely.
Or
We can
a flower farm?
we can do it next year when I'm there.
Yes! Oh my gosh.
Yay!
I can't wait for you to come over.
I know, it's going to be so much fun.
Toronto's not going to know what hits it.
Absolutely. Although I am a little bit upset that they don't do hockey during the summer.
Well, we have baseball.
Yeah, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. I do really like ice hockey, though.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good game.
Yeah.
I
Good
only
game,
like
good
it-
sport.
Good sport. Good game, guys. Good game, boys.
You only like
Yeah.
it for the violence? Yeah, me too.
I only like it for the violence and only if I'm there in person. I don't particularly like to watch
I
it
would
on
never watch
TV.
sports on TV. Like, Jesus, I've got better things to do. Do you know what I mean?
Boring.
Yeah.
Boring.
Boring. I'm all about the vibes, and
Uh-huh.
the vibes. You don't get the vibes in the house when you're watching it on. And people like to go to the pub and like or a sports bar or whatever, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why? That's not the same. If you can't get a ticket, like, what's the point? You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, would you sit? Well, they do this. They do this. They do this.
You
Also,
said
there's
doo-doo.
a couple of big festivals here on in the summer, and like people watch them on the TV or listen to them on the radio, and I'm like, bro, get a life. Like, what are you doing? Did you watch?
brother.
No, did I fuck? Did you watch Glastonbury at the week? No. Was I there? No. Do I care?
Oh, like big
Also, no.
festivals. Like
Yeah, they put it on the
like
telly.
Coachella type thing.
Yeah. Can you watch Coachella on the telly?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
if you can, I don't know because it's not something I would watch.
Exactly. If it's not the Eurovision Song Contest, I ain't watching it. And I didn't watch it.
Eurovision.
I didn't watch it last year, but you know,
I've only ever watched it once, and that was when I was living in London, and
it's
I
a
was
fever,
at a.
it's a fever dream, right?
It really is, and it
Yeah.
was with. I was actually at a house of a bunch of Icelandic people.
Of course
And
you
so
were.
that was just another edition of Fever Dream. They were great, great people, love them. But it was just like they were so into it, and it was just
Ah,
I was
100%. It's amazing. Yeah.
What is happening here? But
Yeah. We love
it's
it.
a wild ride.
We love it. We love it. It happens like in the run up to my birthday. So it's like the beginning of my birthday. It's usually 2 weeks before my birthday. The 2 weekends before. It's in the middle of May. My birthday is at the end of May. So it's like gets me started, you know what I mean, on a high note. It's like Eurovision, then some kind of chaos, and then it's birthday, you know? It's great.
Started off with a bang.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for Eurovision, we wouldn't have ABBA.
This is so true. I actually don't know the truth of that. Surely they were formed before Eurovision.
Well, they were, but they won.
They wouldn't have made it to the worldwide success, and we wouldn't have Colin Firth trying to sing.
Oh God!
What a film! I might watch it. I might watch it tonight. I mean, amazing.
Mamma mia!
It is time for Love Actually, though, so there's some Colin Firth for you. That is a little bit more palatable. I do love Love Actually. I love love. What can I say? I'm a lover girl. We are lover girls who have slight violent streaks, but it just makes us more lovable.
Oh, my mom was listening to some music the other day, and that song, the God only knows what I'd be without.
Without you. Yeah. Absolute
And I
belter.
can only think of Love Actually when I hear
Yeah.
that song.
Yeah. Also, Jump for my love.
Uh-huh.
I can only see Hugh Grant doing this weird dance that he does across the 10 Downing Street.
Uh-huh.
What can I
Hi,
do for you?
Bella.
What's up? Hello, Papa.
Hey, girly pop. God only knows what
What
I'd
would
be
be without you? People often comment about how much we sing in our podcast, and I go, oh my god, I know, right? Amazing. And then the next comment is usually, you cannot sing. I'm like, alright, okay. Oh, fuck you then.
Right, fine. You know what? We know how to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Where's the joy in your life?
Yeah, we know how to live life.
Exactly. Oh, look at her. She's like, hello, let me
Hey,
be
girl.
let me get some attention off of you, please. She's not good at
Talking.
well, no, I mean she's a dog, so she doesn't talk. But like I always try to get her to look at people on the phone or on the screen or whatever, and she's like, no, I don't care for you. I have no interest.
Oh.
She's like, just give me cuddles. And I'm like, okay. Okie dokie. I still really want another dog, but it just doesn't seem to be happening.
Well, keep at it. It may happen.
I know. People just answer their fucking emails. You know what I mean?
Dicks.
But it's fine. The money I kind of had to set aside for a dog, I just spent on tattoos, so it's okay.
Wait a minute. Did you get a new tattoo?
No, not yet. The first
the down
one.
payment.
The down payment?
The
Jesus,
down
the down payment? The deposit. Yeah, I've paid the deposit on them, but the first one isn't until I just buy myself a fucking house, you know. But yeah, the first one isn't until December. Okay, it wasn't that funny. Come on.
Oh god, I'm
Back
losing
to me,
it.
girl.
Yeah.
I often wonder how much my neighbor can hear when I do things like that, because I can hear stuff when I'm in the kitchen. Actually, and here as well, I can often hear her alarm going off in the morning. I think the wall is quite thin. Just the one wall between us. The rest of them are like fucking, you know, which is several sledgehammers to get through the rest of the walls.
Bricked up, concrete, asbestos. Hopefully not.
Probably, my little cottage is 100 years old. Fuck knows what's going on in the walls.
Ooh.
Probably a person in there.
Yum.
I know. I've been watching Bones. I'm midway through season 3 now, so there's dead bodies everywhere, my friend. It just is. It's what I'm all about. The skeletons, you know. Also, we're doing a seance at work next week, so I'm quite excited for that. Did I tell you about this?
No.
Ah, my god. So the place I work is 500 years old, right?
Wow.
I don't know enough about the history. Like, I mean, there's some stuff that I do know. Presumably people have died there though, because 500 years worth of living, you know, and we all say it's haunted. I had an incident a couple weeks ago where I was peeing, as I'm wont to do. Right, the pub was not yet open, so there was like 4 of us in the building. Everybody was up the stairs. I was down the stairs alone, peeing, as I said. Somebody came and smashed on the door, like really loud. And my assumption was it was my boss because he likes to scare me.
Okay.
And had literally a few weeks earlier, I'd come out of the bathrooms, and picked up the rubbish to take outside. Had my hands. He jumped out the corner. I screamed and I was like, ah! threw the bags in the air, right? So I'd come out of this bathroom with a little bit of trepidation most mornings.
Sure.
Because there's every chance that he's there. So to begin with, I genuinely assumed it was him. I was like, what? So I came out like, what the fuck do you want? Do you know what I mean? I was ready.
Reasonable.
Ready to pounce on him, beat him to death. right, for trying to freak me out again.
Yeah.
He was up the stairs. He swears down, and he was proper up the stairs working with somebody else. And I checked with the chef. I was like, "Are you sure? Are you?" He's like, "Nobody came down. Nobody was there." And I was like, "Somebody just fucking like battered on that door, like 100%." Other people claim to be, they can't find stuff. They put it down and then it's not there, and it's just moved, and they find it somewhere else. That kind of shit goes on. Apparently, one of the last witches who was executed in Scotland, who was burned alive, literally a stone's throw from where we are, she stayed in the pub before it was a pub.
Yikes.
So anyway, we're putting the Christmas decorations up next week, because obviously it's November, and we're all going to stay after closing and have a seance and get a Ouija board and commune with the spirits. And I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited about it. You are concerned. I think I'll be fine. I'm safe and protected, and I do it with the utmost respect. And I don't believe in benevolent, right? Spirits. Malevolent. I don't believe in demons. And not that I don't believe in demons. I don't believe in. Actually, I don't really know what I don't really know what I believe in. I just think it'll be fun.
Girl, well,
you're like, no, this is not a good idea.
I don't know. I've watched enough. I know it's movies too, but like, I just don't fuck with that shit.
Well, I usually don't as well. I do everything quite respectfully and things like that, but I can't see how this could possibly go wrong.
Right. So, famous last words.
I know, right?
So if we don't find Sam the next go around, or she's a different person, we'll know why. But if you want to keep safe, this is something I've heard where it's like, I do not invite any spirits, like any at all, to like come into my home or come into my whatever, or because I don't know. I mean, like, you do you, babe, but this,
I have an anti-possession tattoo already.
Okay. All right.
So your girl was a big fan of Supernatural when she was young, and she got the tattoo. You've not watched Supernatural, have you?
I've seen it, but not like all the way through.
Yeah.
I'm like, you've even watched Supernatural, and you're like, yeah, no, it's cool. This album will be great.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with it. I've always watched Witch and Supernaturally, stuff. I love it.
And you're not concerned?
And it's the only kind of horror movies. I'm not concerned. No, I'm not concerned. Not for me. I mean, I'm spiritually protected. I'm going to be fine. Like, some of those other motherfuckers might get it. Yeah. I'll be fine, though, and I'll look after them, because my energy will protect the kiddos.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. I suppose they typically do go after, when it comes to demonic possession, people who are, like, really struggling and are weak and already vulnerable. So.
Yeah. Exactly. I'll be totally good. I'm like, girl. You know what I mean?
Like, I got this.
Like, I've gone. Exactly. I take one look at you and be like, whoa, look.
Take your candle with you.
And I'll take Papi Pedro with me, who, by the way, looks spectacular. You've been really busy. I don't know if you have. Have you seen some of the press tours? Holy shit. Like, how is that man aging backwards? Like, Jesus.
He's a beauty.
He's such
like for The Last of Us, for Gladiator, for
The Gladiator.
Okay.
I've
seen that one a magazine cover with him and Paul Mescal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that was about it.
Cool. Yeah, there's quite a few interviews now floating about. They're also doing the press tour and stuff like that. He looks so good. And I'm really excited to go and see Gladiator 2, which is like super soon.
Yeah.
I remember talking about it at the beginning of the year, and it was like ages away. And now we're here. How has that happened?
Didn't you read me some fanfic smut about...
Was it about Marcus?
I think so, yeah. And I was like watering plants and pruning plants during the summer.
And I said,
I'll read you some smut.
Why was I reading that to you? I can't remember. Were you not feeling well or something? And I was like, can I read to you?
Yeah, I think we were on the phone, and we were both, either one of us or the other was having a bad day, or we both were, or we just needed to be on the phone. And you gave me some smut while I watered some plants. I remember you watering the plants and your dad being in the background as I read you some smut. Yeah. But I had headphones on just so the people at home know it wasn't
Yeah,
just blasting
absolutely.
to keep them well.
And that was just a little one shot. One of the hardest things these days is finding a nice, good, meaty fanfic. You know, one that you can really get into, like novel-esque size. And the sad thing is, some of my favorite ones I read, they disappear because they're going to get published, and they fucking take forever. You
Rude.
know, I know. You're like,
Boring.
exactly. So there's two really good ones, really, really good ones over the last few years that I've read that have both disappeared to get published. And it's just a waiting game because I've read them multiple times. You know, they're really good. And yeah, it's just a waiting game for those motherfuckers to reappear again. So yeah, it's amazing, but it's also bad at the same time. And every time you talk about stuff getting published, my first reaction is always thinking about fucking what's its face? 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes.
And you're like, that's bad, you know?
Yeah. I never read the 50 Shades of Grey books.
I couldn't even get through the first. I bought them. I bought all three. I think they were cheap though. Like I didn't spend money on. I don't know, like £2 each or something like that on Kindle. I couldn't even get through the first one. There is good smut in the world, and that is not it. Let me
I
tell
remember
you.
those coming out though, and it just being like this huge craze, and like specifically for older women, and like because they had never probably read fan
Yeah,
fiction or anything
exactly.
like that, so it was
Whereas
like,
you
oh
and
my
I had
goodness,
been,
ooh,
yeah, we'd been looking at that shit online in the dark for a
yeah,
decade at that point. Yeah. I mean, it did bring it more into the forefront in the mainstream. I'll give it that. You know, smut and fan fiction and stuff like that. But I don't know that it's that good.
yeah. I mean,
Personally,
granted, I have watched the movies.
I remember being really drunk and seeing the first movie. Not getting through it, like because I
Yeah.
was drunk, not because I just weren't paying attention to it because I was steaming. Could not tell you anything about it. And I see clips of it, and I see what's her name, Dakota and Jamie Dornan, and I just think that's just not them.
Yeah,
I cringe for them. You know,
I
I'm
get
like,
that. Get that.
girly pops, that's not you. You know?
Do you find, on the note of being too drunk to have gotten through the movie, do you find sometimes now that you'll start a movie and you'll be like, I feel like I've watched this before, and you can't
No.
remember why, and it was probably because you did it when, or you started it or watched it when you were drinking.
Yeah, and that was one of the actual best things about because I'm a big TV show person, as a
Hmm.
general, I love a binge of a TV show. I was one of the best things about being sober was actually going back and watching some of my favorite TV shows again, and it was kind of like watching them for the first time
And really
and
taking
really
things
getting into
in.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, in a different way than like so. Say my going back to our Papi Pedro, our Lord and
Hmm.
Savior. Narcos is my hardcore fan fave. Fucking love
Yes.
it. Um, and Papi Pedro didn't really come in. I mean, he was there. Obviously, he's a beautiful man, but it wasn't until I'd watched it sober. So I'd watched it at least twice, drunk, and loved it because it's just a fantastic show. And I'm a little bit obsessed with Latin culture and a little bit obsessed with uh
Cocaine.
what was I gonna say? But yeah, sure. Yeah, so I mean I loved it and it's so well done. And yet the third time around I was sober watching this is when I fell in love with Papi Pedro. Like I was like because turns out he does have the best character. Um, and I've now watched it a couple of times, Stone Cold Sober. But it was one of the best things about sobering up is getting to go back and watch a bunch of stuff sober.
Hmm.
Movies I do all the time. I'm like, I know what's gonna happen, and that I'm like, yeah, I've seen it drunk before, and or I've been high or whatever, and yeah. I ruin it for myself essentially because midway through the movie I remember what's going to happen.
Hmm.
And it's a very strange, like deja vu esque experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, for me, it's like I'm like, I feel like I've probably started this or I've watched this to an extent, and then the rest is kind of hazy because I probably got like too
yeah, you
drunk
were
or fucked up
too.
or whatever.
Yeah,
So it's like something new all over again. Our friend and I were watching a movie. It's called like Movie 43. And like we watched the trailer quickly and we're like, okay, it looks kind of silly and like it could be funny or whatever. And we started it and we were both kind of like, this seems like 16-year-old boy type funny.
Mm-hmm.
And very
Mm-hmm.
quickly we were like, but also whilst watching it, I was like, I've definitely started this before because it seems so familiar. And I was like, what the heck? But we turned it off very quickly. Not long after, Hugh Jackman was on a date with Kate Winslet. And at first, it's seeming like he's like this perfect guy and he's beautiful and gorgeous and da 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 da. And she's never met him before. It's a blind date. And then the joke is that he has a ball sack on his neck.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like,
Yeah.
I can't do it. I
How is
can't do
that
it.
funny? Yeah.
No, very straight boy humor, 16-year-old
Mm-hmm.
boy humor.
And those films, that kind of film, that kind of ilk, parodies were really, really common back then. Those kind of comedies that were like 16-year-old boy straight humor, like they were everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like stoner films,
Yeah. There
straight
was
boy,
like
straight boy
not
stoner
another
films. Not
not
another
another
teen
teen
movie,
movie.
which I actually don't think I've seen that one.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I have.
Ah. I'd seen that one and I'd seen it when I was quite young. Because they played it on TV. And I remember like I think I liked it at the time and it was like weirdly some kind of like sexual awakening at times as well because it was pretty like graphic in some ways and I was like,
Mhm.
why is my body feeling like this?
Why do I feel
Um,
these things?
yeah. So there's that. There was like a parody of X-Men, I think I feel like I remember. Don't get me wrong, I loved watching like Scary Movie and like where they did the spoof of like Scream and
Hmm.
um other movies and stuff, but yeah, it was like a whole
It was a dark
phenomenon.
time for cinema.
Yeah,
Arguably, it's darker now because it's just fucking Marvel movies and sequels. But you know, it's what.
primarily sequels or recreating
Why
old.
are there so many? Why is there another Joker film? Was there not just one that came out, and there is another one? How many Joker films have there been over the last 5 years? Has there been one every year, and it's a different
I
Joker
lost
or a
count.
different person, and every year? Why? How many do we need? I don't
When
understand.
is enough? Enough.
Enough is enough. And on movies, actually, I had a fucking horrible. I was 100% convinced that Harvey Weinstein was dead. I remember it happening so clearly.
Is he not?
He's not dead.
Okay. What?
And I'm like, who do I think, who died that I thought it was Harvey Weinstein? Because I was sure Harvey Weinstein was dead. Fucking 100% sure. He's not dead.
Huh.
Right? Did you think he was dead as well?
Yeah, well, you saying that, I was like, I definitely probably thought at a time that he was dead.
Like, I 100% he died.
Maybe Epstein? Jeffrey
No, because I
Epstein?
remember that because it was a big thing because he hung himself in the
In
prison
the
cell and
jail.
everybody was
Yeah.
like, yeah, that wasn't a suicide, blah, 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 right? And I was like, who else would there be that I would have mixed him up with? And I can't think of anyone.
Oh, yeah. Fucker's still alive.
Yeah. And he got cleared of charges and now he's been retried again, I believe.
Hmm. Well,
Well,
that's fun. So,
sir,
sorry.
you want to ask a question? Is something on your mind? I can see the cogs turning. What are you thinking about? Ask me anything. I am a magic 8 ball.
Will I be successful?
Yes, you will. I am sure of it.
And successful in what? Who knows?
Who
But I
fucking
will
knows?
be.
Life does go some funny fucking ways, doesn't it?
It sure do.
It sure do.
It sure do, brother.
I can't remember, what was I doing this time last year? That was the beginning of November. So yeah, not fucking much. That's what I was doing last year. Yeah, I couldn't have written this in all of the land. That doesn't make sense. That's not a saying. But yeah, life is a funky little monkey, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, this time last year, I don't think you and I,
We weren't yet besties. Nope.
we weren't yet besties. I wasn't working part-time at the bingo hall. We definitely weren't doing this.
Yep.
I wasn't seeing anybody. I wasn't as spiritually well off as I am now.
Mhm.
I was a pretty different person, I'd say.
Yeah. I was just a whore online this time last year. Now I'm a whore in real life.
IRL.
IRL. Yeah, I literally never left the house. I hated everybody, which I know I
Hmm.
started this podcast off with. I want to never leave the house, and I'm kind of over
I don't want to
everybody.
do.
Yeah, I wasn't working at the pub. Yeah, I definitely wasn't as spiritually or physically well. It was just all. It was all just fear and grossness. What a year we've had.
Truly. It's crazy to like look back and think and reflect and actually look at it because like, we were saying earlier, um, it's hard to, or was this with someone else? I might have been having a conversation with somebody else
Who else do you
about
speak to?
only you. Only you, I promise. Um, but it's hard to see past what you're experiencing in the moment, whether it be good or bad, and
Yeah,
like to see it from that full broad spectrum of, all the things, and you don't quite realize how much actually happens until you take that time to reflect and be like, wow, damn, actually,
yeah.
yeah.
And like this time last year, I wanted to be like my plan for this year at this stage of the game. I wanted to be either living on a boat or
Yeah.
living in a van. This was I quite literally wanted to escape society this time last year. I was like, everything that I was planning to do was to build myself up so I could work remotely from somewhere else and basically never be around humanity. Which is wild. Like, what the fuck was I thinking? So like, we don't know what's good for us because that's why that didn't work out. Because that's not what I need in my life. And it took me several more months to realize I need the socialization
Mm.
of working at the pub. I've been there for like 6 months now, and I was so determined to never ever go back into hospitality or working for somebody else again.
Hmm.
But turns out I fucking love just rocking up and annoying people and floating about and hanging out with people. And even though I don't need it, I keep it on for funsies. And yeah, this time last year I was like, fucking I hate people. I want to be left alone to die in this house. Everybody's so stupid, you know? And now I spend all my time surrounded by people. All the time. Everything I do is about people. And it's great. Life is
Beautiful.
fabulous.
Beautiful.
Yeah, when you're nice and busy and occupied with other people. It's nice. It's like super cute. I highly recommend it.
10 out of 10, do recommend.
Absolutely. We sort of started talking about Christmas and then we never really got back to it, did we?
That's okay. We have lots of time to do Christmas chatter.
Unless next week I come back possessed,
Uh, I'm gonna be
which I
praying for you.
which I won't. That's
Seriously.
okay. Yeah, okay, it's fine. Everybody can pray for me. It's fine.
Let's all send really
Um,
good vibes Sam's way. Keep her safe.
like I said, I have the anti-possession tattoo. I'm good.
Right.
I'm sure I can rummage together with all of the shit that I have in this house. I'm absolutely sure I can rummage together something else as
Get
well.
a little evil eye necklace or something.
I don't have an evil eye actually.
Mm.
I always look at them and they just. Do you know what? I love all of the thought of like wearing a crystal or an evil eye. They all come on black, big, chunky plastic or rope necklaces, and I'm like, girl,
Oh yeah.
can you not
Give me
just
that
put it on a nice little chain?
nice little chain.
Yeah,
Little
come
cutesy
on.
little demure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
I'm cutesy and demure. Why won't you give me a cutesy and demure thing? You know?
Yeah. Rude.
Yeah,
Maybe
absolutely.
that's something you need to start. Put it on your Etsy shop.
Maybe.
If you're still doing
Man,
that.
I've not touched that mother in months.
There you go. Things come and things go. Where we
Absolutely.
end up, we don't know.
We don't know.
Well, I think that's all we have to say this week. Thank you all so much for coming and listening to us again. It has been an absolute pleasure. And I hope that you all were able to follow along with our unhingedness. Please find us on Spotify, on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Audible, all the things. And we look forward to hearing any feedback and seeing you all again very, very soon.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
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 That tripped me out, like, because I saw your TikTok before I heard your voice note, and I was like, girly pop, did I miss a chapter? What the fuck happened?
I literally did miss a chapter. But it was a good chapter. It wasn't a dramatic chapter by any...
Well, just following, like, the experiences you had not, like, literally a day before, I was terrified. Like,
crying to you the day before. Oh, fuck, that reminds me. I have to change my STI checkup.